Atlanta News First Plus starts now.
Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. We are moments away from taking you out to remarks from the governor and emergency officials as they share their winter preparedness plan for the weekend. Now, we've been talking about it throughout the week. We first alerted you as early as possible for the ice threat and conditions that we are expecting. We're keeping you up to date by the minute of what we are learning each time. Now, I want to take you through some of what we are expecting from the governor. Again, that news conference scheduled for 9:30. It is currently 9:35, so any moment now we could take you to those live remarks. But you are going to hear from Governor Kemp, of course, Josh Lamb, the director of Georgia's Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency, and others as they speak and deliver their remarks. Right now, a winter storm watch is currently in effect for several counties in the north of Atlanta for the Saturday and Sunday weekend that we are keeping our eyes on. And again, conditions we're monitoring closely here at Atlanta News First, our First Alert weather team, updating you both on air and online and in our Atlanta News First app as we continue to bring you the latest coverage from officials and what we are learning from our own models and forecasting. So just to paint a picture for you, this winter storm watch that is currently in effect, running through several counties for Saturday and Sunday, those counties can get up to about an inch of ice, a little less than an inch of ice of sleet and snow. So you can imagine dangerous road conditions, of course, dangerous to even be walking outside. So if you are planning to travel in any case, if you have to, because it is an essential part of your weekend, make sure that you are using every precaution, making sure that you are setting yourself up, your vehicle, any mode of transportation. But better yet, if you are able to stay home, consider doing so. We are currently looking at the areas of Ellijay, Helen, Canton, here in Atlanta, of course, Rome, all of that North Georgia area that is under the threat of ice. Our ice map monitoring that condition closely. Now, we are about to take you live to the governor, and I do believe his remarks are starting now.
Belgium on economic development trip. I've been in constant communications with our agency leadership and also Director Lamb, who's on the virtual call with us here today. As you all know, we have a very experienced team when it comes to winter weather and other storm events that affected our state. I just want to thank them for what they do every day, but especially during those tough times when we've experienced some really nasty weather here in our state. And last week we were thinking we might get a little of that. Thankfully we didn't, but we had the team ramped up and ready to go, and it was a good trial run to get ready for what's coming at us. Also just want to thank Will Langston, state meteorologist, and the National Weather Service folks. We've obviously been in constant communication with them, and we will as the storm continues to move toward us. You'll hear from Director Lamb at GEMA in just a few minutes. I just want to thank our local emergency management folks around the state that we've been coordinating with. Obviously, the Georgia Department of Transportation, Commissioner McMurray and his team are on point and ready to roll. Colonel Hitchens and the Georgia State Patrol will be out as needed prior to the storm getting here, but also responding after it hits. I want to thank our Agriculture Commissioner, Tyler Harper, and our Forestry Commission Director, Johnny Zabo. Their teams are ready in case we need chainsaw cut teams anywhere around the state to help clear roads for power companies and so on. I had a call with Georgia Power earlier today with their weather folks, but also getting an update as they're already moving assets to be prepared for whatever may hit, along with our other utility partners, our EMCs and others. So just want to thank them and all the other stakeholders that are in preparation with us. Obviously, from the weather reports, you know that we're still expecting a major winter storm to impact much of Georgia. We feel like this is going to be an event that's going to happen north of I-20, but that line could move north or south depending on what the temperatures do and what that would throw at us. So we just want all of Georgia to be winter aware, and certainly people in central Georgia, you could be impacted if the temperatures stay above freezing. You may not, but we just don't know yet, and we'll keep keep you posted on that, but it's good to be winter weather aware as we talked about yesterday. The winter storm watch is in effect for North Georgia from Friday evening through Monday morning. We think we'll experience significant snow, sleet, and/or freezing rain possible in these counties throughout the weekend, and that'll start early Saturday morning. As I just mentioned, literally a degree or two in temperature can affect whether we have rain or snow / ice or freezing rain. So that is something that we're just going to have to continue to watch and communicate with, which is why we're asking everyone to be prepared in case we have significant ice accumulation. Obviously, that's treacherous on the roads, but also creates a lot of problems with our utilities and especially our electric power lines and other things. Temperatures will remain below or near freezing early into next week. So we're watching that as well. State actions that I've taken to this point, just declared a state of emergency for all Georgia counties effective immediately. That executive order will be posted here shortly. The duration of that will be 7 days. Obviously, if we need it longer than that, we'll extend that. I've also authorized a call up of 500 National Guardsmen. Now, obviously, we do not have a need for those folks right now. Hopefully, we won't, but we just want to be prepared in case we do, that we can move and get General Wilson and his team responding as quick as possible. So that'll be part of the executive order. We've also suspended truck weights, which will allow us to move fuel and other things around the state as it's needed, as we're urging people to, there's plenty of time before this hits, but just, go ahead and fill your cars up. Make sure you got the things that you need at your house to stay warm and hunker down in case you lose power for a day or two. And this will just help us, the truck weights, to allow moving assets around. Also, many of our partners, including Georgia Power and others, Department of Transportation, they're already moving assets to be deployed in the areas that we think may be affected, so we can move very quickly when the storm gets here. We are activating the State Operations Center starting at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning and running 24/7 until the weather event has passed. GEMA has been in constant contact with the local emergency management folks, as I mentioned earlier. They're also coordinating with state and federal agencies, and that includes working with the Department of Public Health to ensure that nursing homes know who to call if they lose power. The Georgia Department of Transportation will begin treating roads early Saturday morning, so around midnight or midnight Friday, early Saturday morning, north of I-20. So just be on the lookout if you happen to be on the roads for those trucks that will be out brining, and just give them plenty of room, be courteous to them, and let them do their work. As I mentioned earlier, Department of Agriculture, Department of Natural Resources, the Forestry Commission chainsaw crews are all ready. We'll respond if needed. State troopers are prepared to respond and assist motorists. But the biggest thing people can do, it looks like this storm's going to come in, a little later on Saturday than we originally thought. So folks need to start getting off the roads on Saturday night. If it's bad where you are on Sunday, just do us a favor, do the State Patrol, DOT, all the other folks, utility crews, if they're out working, if you can just stay off the roads, that would be a big favor to us and help keep everybody safe. We're still early in this weather event's impact on our state, but I can let you know that we'll be monitoring this 24/7. We'll certainly keep the public updated. I've asked, my team at the Capitol, and then obviously Director Lamb at the State Operations Center, to keep everyone updated, as I will be doing as well. We're thinking the line that's most going to be affected right now, the way the modeling looks, is going to be 400 north of the city of Atlanta, the 85 corridor north going toward Gainesville, the Athens area, really all the way to the South Carolina line. A lot of that, though, is going to depend on what the temperatures do. If the temperatures are a little colder than we think, that line is obviously going to move down toward middle Georgia and Macon and in that part of the state. If for some reason that doesn't happen, that line could move a little further north, but that's the best that we can tell you right now. We'll certainly keep you posted on that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Director Lamb. He'll give his report. We'll sign off, and then we'll keep you posted as we get more information. But thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, Governor. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So what I'd like to talk about this morning is preparedness and what people can do to be proactive before the storm gets here. Here at GEMA Homeland Security, we encourage everyone to start preparing for potential winter weather impacts now. By being ready for the storm, Georgians can do their part in minimizing risk, reducing the time it takes to recover, and most importantly, prevent the loss of life. The main actions to take now are to prepare your family, prepare your home, and prepare your car. First, prepare your family. Sit down with your family and make a communications plan. Know how you'll contact one another and reconnect if separated. Take time to check on families, neighbors, friends, anyone who may need extra assistance during the storm. Make sure you have enough non-perishable food, water, and medications for at least 3 days. Ensure you have warm clothing and blankets and flashlights and batteries, and update your first aid kit and a way to keep your phone charged. Next, prepare your home. Take precautions like installing and testing smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors, covering outdoor pipes, sealing doors, windows, and cleaning out your gutters. Think of ways to safely heat your house, especially if the power goes out. Remember to never use an oven to heat your home, and don't bring a portable generator inside due to the threat of carbon monoxide. Lastly, prepare your car. Before the storm hits, make sure your gas tank is full and prepare an emergency car kit, including a first aid kit, cell phone charger, jumper cables, blankets, water, snacks, and an ice scraper. Once the storm hits, stay off the roads as much as possible. If travel is necessary, slow down and allow extra time, and be especially careful on bridges and overpasses which freeze first. Not only does staying off the roads ensure residents' safety, but it also gives Georgia DOT crews the time they need to maintain the condition of the roads. In conclusion, GEMA Homeland Security will continue to monitor winter weather forecast and collaborate with local, state officials to assess conditions and determine the best steps to keep Georgians safe. It is crucial that everyone pay attention to guidance from their local officials and continue to monitor your local National Weather Service and trusted news sources for the most updated information. GEMA Homeland Security will provide additional information and updates regarding the winter weather via our website. That's at gema.georgia.gov, and social media at Georgia EMAHS, all one word. So just in conclusion, remember, be prepared, have a ready kit, have a communications plans, take precautions, don't panic, and please stay informed and stay off the roads. Thank you, Governor.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll keep you posted. Have a great day. God bless.
And that was the virtual presser, the remarks from Governor Kemp from the GEMA, basically urging you to prepare now. You don't want to wait until this weekend to start putting your home together, to start taking care of your car, your groceries. Do the preparations now before the storm sets in and travel becomes dangerous, being outside becomes unfavorable. Now, a state of emergency was declared by the governor during this news conference, and what that means is it activates state resources to assist with major events such as this winter storm system. We can't emphasize enough urging, really reflecting the remarks from Governor Kemp, from the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency, saying do your preparations now. Consider what you will need if you lose power. Consider what you will need if you lose heat. If you need to travel, make sure that you are setting yourself up for any event that you might find yourself in, including getting stuck somewhere, especially as you're passing over bridges and areas where ice can accumulate, especially black ice, where you can't see it before you are on it. Now, just to walk you through some of what we are monitoring, the winter storm watch is in effect right now for locations north of Atlanta, Saturday through Sunday. We are continuing to monitor that. Cities in Rome, Canton, LJ, Blairsville, Hiawassee, Blue Ridge, Gainesville, and Dahlonega. You guys are in that threat area. We are looking closely at you. And the timing as far as we are looking at right now is mostly Saturday afternoon. That is when spotty freezing rain is expected to develop. Freezing rain, sleet, increased weather conditions will continue into the night on Saturday and continue into Sunday. So the best thing that you can do really is plan to have an indoor weekend. Make sure that your home is set up. Make sure you're dripping your pipes and not planning to go outside unless you absolutely need to. Saturday night and Sunday are going to be the close days that we're watching where the most ice is expected to accumulate, especially north of I-20. So by Monday morning, that precipitation is expected to be over. However, as the governor said, we are not expected to break out of those below or near freezing temperatures until about Tuesday or Wednesday into the week, and that is constantly changing. So we can expect those lasting impacts to stick around for a while. Very important that you have the First Alert Weather app on your phone. Download it so that you can get push notifications as we're continuing to monitor and update and forecast. We have the largest team of meteorologists here in the Southeast, so a lot of folks working around the clock and bringing you personalized messaging and forecasting for your specific area, and that is all included in the app. For that, I do want to take you out to our Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris with a step-by-step on how to make sure that you are weather prepared.
First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris. We're always asking you to download the app to stay up to date with our weather. So I want to walk you through some things that may be helpful for you this week as we get closer to this First Alert over the upcoming weekend. I want to start by reminding you, you can always access your hourly forecast, your daily forecast, and the radar at the bottom of the screen, also getting back to the home page. But what I really want to focus on today is the video. Every time we send you a push alert with video, it's always going to appear at the top of the weather app. The most recent video is the very first thing you'll see. But don't forget that we do multiple videos throughout the day, and sometimes we do videos that we keep up for multiple days if we want you to always have access to it. So you can scroll to your left to access any video that we've recorded for you for the First Alert Weather app. We usually do more long-form videos to really walk you through what we're expecting for the weekend, so don't forget about that. Also want to make sure that you know that in addition to these videos that we record, you can actually watch our newscast live from inside the First Alert Weather app. Just scroll down past the radar and the hourly forecast, and you'll see a section that says live video. When you click on that section, it'll take you to this page where you can watch our newscast, every single newscast we do live, and that's not only the case throughout the course of the week, but when we have weather events. So for example, if you lose power, which we obviously don't want to happen, you can still access us by watching those newscasts from the First Alert Weather app. We're going to continue to walk you through a lot of the different things you can do in this app throughout the course of the week. And you can also always find your forecast right here in the First Alert Weather app.
Thank you, Rodney, for that. And of course, you can also text us the word weather to 470-777-9263, and we will send you all of the forecasting information and what we're following directly to your phone. You can also send us pictures over the weekend and questions that you might have, and our team here at Atlanta News First will text you back and answer those. So it's a fantastic tool for us to connect. 470-777-9263 is where you're going to want to go. In the meantime, we are going to continue to bring you coverage here at Atlanta News First. Throughout the day, we are monitoring closely your weather conditions. We are going to have First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris back here at this desk at 11 a.m. to give you a detailed timeline and forecast. Hop on our social media, YouTube and Facebook, to chat with you and answer your questions. And we will keep that going into the afternoon and evening hours with our Atlanta News First news at noon, followed by a 1 o'clock ANF Plus weather update from First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey, going into tonight for another update throughout our afternoon and evening newscast. So make sure you tune in. Make sure that you have the First Alert Weather app downloaded on your phone, and stick with us for your latest weather updates.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF Plus. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.